all started in a quiet college town in upstate New York. Two best friends, Ethan and Lucas, were always together. They shared everything: dreams, secrets, even crushes. One semester, they both fell for the same girl, Clara, an art student who was beautiful but carried a sadness in her eyes that neither of them could understand. Both friends tried to get close to her, but Clara always stayed distant, like she was hiding something. Realizing they were both in love with her, Ethan and Lucas made a difficult decision. They agreed to forget their feelings and protect their friendship. Months later, Clara disappeared without a trace. Her mother, Mrs. Harper, was heartbroken. She said Clara had a troubled relationship with her stepfather and left after a big fight. The police searched, but she was never found. Ethan and Lucas tried to help, but eventually moved on with their lives. They graduated, started families, and even built a business together. Years later, during a dinner with their wives, they joked about their old crush on Clara, but their laughter felt forced. That night, Ethan's wife, Sarah, heard him mumble in his sleep, "Be with both of us or neither." It gave her chills. She told Lucas's wife, Emily, who admitted she had heard Lucas talk in his sleep too, muttering Clara's name and sweating in fear. Worried, Sarah and Emily searched through old college boxes and found letters Clara had written to Ethan and Lucas. The letters were strange. One said, "If you both love me, why can't you share me?" The last letter was the most haunting. "If I disappear, it's because I couldn't choose." Sarah and Emily confronted their husbands. Slowly, Ethan and Lucas told them the truth. The night Clara disappeared, she had begged them for help. She claimed her stepfather had abused her, and after a fight with him, she ran away. They found her near an old cabin in the woods, scared and desperate. She asked them to help her vanish, so they drove her far away, gave her money, and promised never to speak of it again. But guilt ate away at them over the years. Sarah and Emily, shocked, hired a private investigator named Frank. He found the old cabin. Inside, they discovered a hidden basement and the skeleton of a woman. It was Clara. The autopsy said she had died from a head injury the same night she vanished. Ethan and Lucas broke down and confessed. That night, Clara got angry and accused them of betraying her. A fight broke out, and she hit her head and died. In panic, they buried her and kept it a secret. They were arrested for manslaughter, and their wives filed for divorce. Still, something felt off to Sarah, Emily, and Frank. They went back to the cabin with a forensic team and discovered a hidden box under the floorboards. Inside was Clara's diary. It told a terrifying story, not just about abuse, but about shadowy figures, whispers, and a dark presence watching her. Her final entry read, "They're here. Ethan and Lucas think they're helping me, but I can't run. If I disappear, they've taken me. Tell my mom I'm sorry." Frank investigated more and found Clara's stepfather. The man admitted he had hurt Clara, but said others had too. A cult had been watching her for years. They believed she was special and had forced him to control her. He tried to protect her, but they took her. Frank uncovered the truth. The cult, called the Veil of Shadows, had operated in the area for decades. They believed in sacrificing chosen ones to summon a dark entity. Clara had been their target. The night she disappeared, they followed Ethan and Lucas to the cabin. In the chaos, they took Clara and left behind a decoy body. Frank, Sarah, and Emily tracked the cult to a compound deep in the forest. It was terrifying. Bloody altars, strange symbols, and chanting. There, they found Clara, barely alive and surrounded by cult members. A brutal fight broke out. They escaped with her just as the compound went up in flames. At the hospital, Clara told Sarah and Emily everything. Her stepfather had been a puppet for the cult. The night she disappeared, the cult took her. She said the ritual to summon the dark being had failed because Ethan and Lucas showed up. Later, Clara testified, and the cult was arrested. Ethan and Lucas were freed, but their friendship was broken by everything they'd gone through. One day, Sarah found a new page in Clara's diary. It wasn't in Clara's handwriting. It said, "If you're reading this, they failed. I'm not Clara. I'm her twin. Clara is still out there." The woman they rescued wasn't Clara, but Mara, her twin sister, kidnapped by the cult years ago. Mara, though alive, was deeply traumatized. She whispered, "Clara is still out there, but she's not the same." Frank dug into the cult's past and learned about a ritual called the Convergence. They needed twins, one as the anchor, one as the vessel. Mara was the anchor. Clara was the chosen one. Frank found the location of the cult's secret base, called Black Hollow. It was said to be a doorway to another world. Together, Frank, Sarah, Emily, Ethan, and Lucas went to find Clara. Black Hollow was horrifying. Twisted trees, strange symbols, and unnatural silence. Inside, they found candles, blood, and chanting. In the center room, Clara lay on an altar. Her eyes opened, but they weren't Clara's anymore. They were black and cold. "You're too late," she said. "I am the Harbinger." The cult attacked. A vicious battle followed. Frank grabbed Mara and escaped. Sarah and Emily fought bravely. Ethan and Lucas, filled with guilt, rushed at Clara and tackled her. "We're sorry," Ethan cried. "We should have saved you." Clara screamed, a horrible sound. The room shook, a flash of light, and the chamber collapsed. When the dust cleared, only Sarah, Emily, Frank, and Mara were left. Ethan and Lucas were gone. The place was destroyed, but Clara's fate was unknown. Months later, Sarah heard whispers at night. One evening, she felt a cold hand on her cheek. She turned and saw Clara by her bed, her eyes dark and evil. "You thought it was over," she whispered, "but it's only just begun." Friends, if you enjoyed this chilling story, click on the related link to hear the full tale. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.